How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the T4 NA Finals for the PlayStation 4 division. Our two teams going against each other today are Yessierskiii and Suavemente. Now today, this is a big matchup. We got a prize pool on the line, $1,250. We're splitting at a 70-20-10, so team coming out of today is going to walk away with $875. So there's a lot on the line for both of these teams. And both of these teams gone through a lot this whole season, and I think today we're going to see ourselves a very, very stellar matchup.
Yeah, I think you're right, Hunter, and I think my mic is working now for the stream. I had the wrong button pressed, and it did not want to work to let us in. But yeah, as Hunter let you know coming into this, we have some continued multi-tier action here, Tier 6 Grand Finals of NA PS4. These are the two best teams that have been all season. These are your 1 and 2 seeds going in. The map choice coming out by Yessierskiii is Busan, so we're going to get things started off on Mecha Base here after I check my pause here for the players. But then we will roll on in. We didn't really have a lot of research time to do this, so we're going to roll right in and try and get this started since we are about 30 minutes late, I believe, going into this. So we're going to get this thing right underway and head right on into the action. And you know what, Hunter? I'll let you kind of take it away, man.
Take it away. All right. Well, yeah, it's better late than ever. We're gonna get this going right here, and this is for all the marbles right here. All right. So let's get right into this. All right. What do we got going on here? A little bit odd right now. Very weird coming out the gate, running the Winston Hall right now. we might be getting trolled here. We just might.
Yeah, I don't expect any of this to stick. I'm more curious about what Suavemente is doing over there on a Sigma Hog. They received the switch to the Orisa. I had a feeling that was the swap that was going to be made as we see them move over to that Rig Baptiste lineup here. So we'll have to see how that combats. But it looks like the dive comp's going to stick for Yessierskiii.
Yep, they're going that right into this double shield comp, wielding that Brig and Baptiste, so they might have themselves a tough time out the gate here, but we can only watch and see what's going on here. Frostbite getting right in there, the dive's coming in right through. Both teams combating back and forth right now. Teams trying to find themselves the opening. Big shield stopping them from going in right now. Immortality Field comes out a little bit early. Big pull coming back in. Brig is so low right now. They don't manage to drop her though. Still no one left to drop in this fight. The dive's still coming through. Absolutely massive fight so far. Best one getting low, manages to get a heal up at the last second, but Delina drops at the last second right there too. King following in, so still a 5v5 right now. Both teams fighting intensely in the corner right now.
Oh my god.
God, absolutely massive right there. All the picks coming through, Frostbite coming in absolutely massive in that fight right there. And first control is gonna head over to Yessierskiii.
Yeah, interesting enough, we see Jabori over here on this Moira. We haven't seen a lot of Moira in the high tier action so far, but I think it's actually paying dividends as he was able to keep Frostbite up through that whole fight, and Frostbite getting that quick mines that ended up turning the fight, just putting a lot of pressure on that back line of Suavemente to keep this thing rolling as we see Suavemente coming in the field.
Yeah, but Academix already drops right there. That's their main tank out of the question right there. Trying to figure out more thing, but Delina drops right afterwards, and this fight is just about as looks like it's gonna be over as soon as it began. It's a 4v6 now. Relic did come out though for Yessierskiii, but the people dropping one by one, looks like that rally's gonna come to waste as they're gonna invade the point here and quickly take over this point with what little numbers are left. But they are gonna let go of Primal Rage. Primal Rage is gonna come out to try to stall this point longer, try to find someone. King is gonna drop. But right now the picks are still coming through on both sides. This could be anyone's game, but Frostbite's back into the fight. Delaney dying as soon as they came back into the fight. Academic's trying to see what they can do to bring this fight back. It's still back and forth right now, but it looks like Yessierskii's gonna be able to hold here if they can just manage these consistent picks right now. Frostbite's still trying to put in all this work right now. Jepster drops as well. Baptiste, a lot of healing gone as well. Frostbite finally dies, but the damage that looks to be done as both healers are gone. They are going to invest more ults here into this, but it's finding absolutely nothing. Yessierskii's going to barely hold on to this, but that was such a long fight, already 70%. And counting on the clock
just
for them.
Creating all kinds of pressure on that Tracer, and it was really too much to deal with as Academic just kind of distracted on that Winston. We saw that Primal Rage come out, and I think you and I both kind of, by the inflection of your voice, kind of questioned that Primal Rage because it looked like the fight was going to be lost, but ended up paying dividends there as they were able to get the win, and now they get the Orisa separated.
Yeah, Orisa separated. Mine's coming out. trying to get it picked in there. Hey, that's 3 massive picks. Delina coming in there, coming back in this fight right now, and that's 4 down. Yessierskiii wrapping this fight up with only 2 people still alive, trying to keep the point going, trying to see if they can create some kind of miracle, but with only 1 standing, not even close to point. Looks like first round's gonna go over to Yessierskiii.
Yeah, that was a well-played round by Yessierskiii, never surrendering the point after taking full advantage. We'll have to see if any kind of wholesale swaps from Suavemente here, as you know, that was the one point that I think the dive was probably handicapped of all 3 of these Busan points, and it worked. So I guess if you're Yessierskiii, that's you know, big props to you for how you prepared it and came ready to do that on this map, and you were able to execute. But if you're Suavemente, you got to figure out a way to counter this dive, because you just can't keep running head first into it, because it's not going to work, as you're going to have a lot more high ground to deal with on these next 2 points.
Exactly. You figured back at Mecha Base having that Bring It Baptiste there against that dive, you figured it was going to work out well for them, but they got so pressured. It was such a coordinated dive that they just weren't able to do anything against it, and it ended up falling apart very quickly for them.
Yeah, well, and we don't really see a whole lot of changes to counter that dive, though, as we see the Tracer and the Ash on the DPS, and we still see that Baptiste. We'll see if they can get a little more value maybe out of that Baptiste. It looks like their positioning is what's going to be the change here, trying to take those high grounds away from the dive.
Exactly, this time they have the opportunity to do so. No one in control quite yet. Trying to get Frostbite. Frostbite does get grabbed, but he gets low, but no one's got him quite yet. Frostbite's going to make his way back to point. Sidekicks are going to go in for it. No one is dropped yet in this fight. Immortality comes out. The Frostbite's going to drop early in this fight. That's absolutely massive, as Academic's going to drop as well. And Yessierskii's absolutely falling apart right there after both tanks fell down.
Yeah, and I think the difference there was the 2 Tracers. You had Makayuki that just never quite got into the fight, was kind of playing in the high ground and kind of hitting at the back line from a distance, but never really got a lot of damage in. But Vespa was able to actually get in there and clean up a lot of those kills and get those 3 quick picks that ended up swinging this in Suavemente's favor, as we see the Scar on Delina almost up to that Mirage. Not a whole lot of answers so far for it.
Yeah, not so far, and Academic trying right at the beginning of the fight doesn't help a whole lot, but Pulse Bomb does come in, is going to find King in the process. And right now, Yessierskiii coming right afterwards as well. Barrage is going to come, that's going to catch 1, going to catch 2. Delina coming through on the clutch right here. 4 picks right now. People trying to stall this out, give themselves a little more percentage, but a little over 40% can be taken. Yessierskii's going to take over this point now.
If I didn't know that I was already on a stream delay, I would swear that Mikey Yuki actually heard me talking about that play on that first fight, as we see Mikey Yuki coming in huge on that Tracer this time, getting 3 different picks, but Delina burning that Barrage and going to go ahead and staying on it, because, you know, not a lot of pressure from that Ash at the moment, and I'm not sure how they're not able to get the pressure right now, but we see the Bobs coming out to engage.
Oh, yeah, Bob comes out to engage. Lamans are going to come through. Not really going to find any kind of value whatsoever. Bob going to absolutely obliterate them before they can do anything. Right now, Suavemente backed out for that, but Rally is coming through now. They're going to get super aggressive. Frostbite find themselves in a position right here. Elena comes back in, has the barrage again, but it's going to find absolutely no value this time around. King does manage to drop in the process, but still, picks coming back and forth. Makayuki trying to find more picks right here. Pulse Bomb's going to come through, not going to find anything right there. But oh my god, the pick's still coming through right here. And it looks like, I would say, Yessierskii's taking back this fight right now. Only 2, make that 1 left standing now. Tracer's going to be able to make their way out, but still, that's an amazing fight back right there, as Delina unfortunately does die at the very tail end of that fight.
Yeah, I couldn't really see exactly what was happening, because I was spectating the Tracer, who seemed to, Vespa, that seemed to be getting a lot done and was able to stall on that point a little bit, but the problem is they didn't have the point, so if anything, they just going to cost their team time. But Wisely gets out, and you see the Baptiste amplification makers come out, and really nobody in range to get hit by it.
Yeah, not at all. Academic manages to die in the process still, though. Miamites coming out once again, they're out again, but still not finding a whole lot of value off of them, except for King, who managed to get whacked right into them. 3 picks already at 90% and counting. And 1 by 1, the members of Suavemente are falling down. And you gotta wonder if anyone is gonna be able to contest this point right here. Tracer is gonna try to make their way around. I want it to be able to touch in time. 98, looking for it, but it doesn't look like they're gonna touch it.
No, that was a fairly clean win on that first map for Yessierskiii. Not really a lot of pressure so far from Suavemente. We'll have to see as we continue forward if this dive is going to be their kryptonite, and see if they can find an answer for it, because this Winston is just too much for them to handle.
Right, they're not able to deliver this pressure properly. He's just getting away with almost everything. If we look back on that stall on Mecha Base where they just weren't able to take him out when it was still a 3v6, not able to focus in enough damage, and it ended up costing them big time as they ended up losing that extremely long fight. So hopefully they can figure something out heading into our next map, but you gotta figure, are they actually gonna be able to figure something out when they had these 2 whole rounds to figure it out, but they barely ever found openings. They barely ever found that ability to stop that dive, and even when they did, they struggled to do it. They dumped a lot of ults to do it.
Yeah, and it just seemed like they just didn't get when they had the ults, the value just wasn't there for whatever reason, and we'll have to see if they can go to the drawing board and get this figured out, and it could just be that, you know, maybe Busan isn't their strong of those control point maps, because they did not pick, that was Yessierskii's pick on that map, so Suavemente will have the pick coming back, so we'll have to see what they decide to do for the hybrid map, as we will have the hybrid be the choice. The 3 maps of choice are Kings Row, Hollywood, or Eichenwald.
I wonder. Here's sarcasm. I wonder what map is gonna get picked. I wonder.
There might be.
I wonder.
I did see a Hollywood. I will say that.
Did you?
Yes.
Really?
Tier 6 Xbox NA Grand Finals. We had Hollywood played.
Really? I've only seen Kings Row so far. Only Kings Row.
You're gonna see a little bit more of it as the pick just came in, and it will be Kings Row.
I could have never guessed.
I mean, you know, it happens.
It happens.
All right, I will get the map updated here. And I don't presume we will have any swaps unless Slushy decides to get swapped in, because there is only one other person in the lobby currently, so they will have to bring people into the lobby in order to do that. So probably not a lot of swaps here.
I'd assume not. I think Yessierskiii is sticking with his very solid 6. I can't see him switching off or bringing in someone into the lobby to switch out.
Yeah, I can't see that either. I mean, on the side of Yessierskiii, you're definitely not swapping this. That was just too much pressure.
Oh no.
So you're never changing this in that situation. So.
Oh no. But you know, we're going into Kings Row now, and you gotta wonder if they're gonna run this dive again still. I think it's potential to work, but when you think of Kings Row, dive isn't exactly the first thing that comes to mind, especially when you're gonna be starting up on defense. I couldn't imagine them running that Winston ball again.
Well, we'll have to see who is actually going to start on the defense, because it is winner's choice, attack or defend, and I have not got that call yet. So we'll wait and see what the call is in relation to that. They have chose to attack, so we will need to swap sides here. So I will get that updated. Boom, there we go. I'm
awesome.
going to have to pass the game too. Unfortunately, this was such late notice. We didn't actually create the lobby, so we need a little help from the players. So a little bit of delay in between the games, but we'll try and pump these out as quick as we can. Yeah, so Hunter, welcome to the big stage, by the way. Glad you could fill in for me late notice here, as there was a miscommunication, as we alerted to earlier. But we are going to get this game in, and we're going to get it covered. So these Tier 6 PS4 North America players do get the stage that they were wanting. And they are, as you said, this is $1,250 for this tier, and I do have the numbers here. That's $875 for first place and $250 for second place. So a lot of money at stake here. Both of these teams already in the money, so they're both getting at least $250, but an additional $625 available. So we'll have to see how this plays out. See if that money maybe is creating some tension among these big teams, and see if it affects them at all. But I just got the okay and got the lead passed to me, so I think we are good to go ahead and roll into Kings Row. Now, you had talked about on that defense probably not running the dive, but they did want to attack. I gotta believe we're gonna see just more dive until our eyes bleed.
Oh, I could imagine it now. Like on the defense, definitely not on the attack. I could definitely see them doing this again with how well it worked for them.
Right. Yeah, I got to agree 100%. I don't think you know, a little saying we like to say around these parts is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, you know, until they force you to change, you're just going to stick with it and keep grinding it out.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm curious to see what they're going to run in this defense here to try to counter this almost inevitable dive, and I guess we're just going to have to see what they come out with here out the gate. By the looks of it, what do we have going on here? Well, I don't think it's very much different from what we just saw over on Busan. You know,
Not really.
The Ash Tracer, the double shield, the Bat Brig. No, they're pretty solid on sticking with this, and it looks like Yessierskiii is going to relatively stick with what they have now. They might end up running this Genji, which wouldn't surprise me a whole lot, honestly, with how prominent Genji's been, not only in Overwatch League, but just in general competitive play.
Yeah, as it seems like Nanoblade has kind of come back into style as of late. We saw it a little bit in the Xbox Tier 6 final. We saw some Genji Blade actually break a bit of a stalemate for one of the teams that couldn't actually get a point. It was just too much for them to defend, but it ended up not mattering in the end, all things considered. But we'll have to see what we get here.
Yep, they switched over to the FAR. Gonna run that Pharmacy instead. They found a lot of value off it last time, but Jabori already dropping right there in the fight. Frostbite gonna see what they can do, try to create some more tension in this fight. Delaney trying to find people in the back. Mortality Field's out. Cadmic drops right there. If you're them, you've already got to back out of this fight.
Yeah, and I think Delena is just too much for the DPS of Suavemente to handle right now. But that is kind of the wild card on that Pharah, and got that Mercy pocket now that I don't believe we saw all of Busan. We saw it a little bit on Busan, but I don't believe we saw it in Mecha Base, as they had the Moira for most of that. But yeah, just too much on that DPS, and it looks like Meraki here just having trouble rotating Delena too. Some great positioning by Delena.
Yeah, but oh my goodness, but Meraki coming through ends up dying in the process. Cadmic with a great dive right there, pushing these guys into the corner now. Make that 3 and make that 4. Jepsters manages to find not in the last little process of that fight, but you know, 2 people make that 1 people standing left right there, and this fight's gonna be over right here. Little over a minute only to take this first point of King's Row. Yessierskii's gonna try to make quick work of King's Row now.
Yeah, and then you take a look up at the top of the screen at that ult advantage 2 online for Yessierskiii with a lot more to follow here. It looks like Amp Matrix will be online for Suavemente fairly early, and that Pulse Bomb, but definitely looking like ult economy favoring Yessierskiii very early in this one.
Yeah, that's what coming up on their own Pulse Bomb right now. Gonna see how they do. Pulse Bomb did apparently come out already. I don't think it's got any value or anyone dropped from that. Delaney's gonna find 1 with their ultimate just before they die right there. Still have that 5v5 situation. Slowly keep a progression on that card as they're backing up a little bit. Chepster gonna move up with it now. Rally is going to get popped. Delena is going to get caught as soon as they ended up getting revived. They're going to push forward hard on this rally. Academic goes ahead and was going to use the ultimate. I think he got, I don't know if he used it or he got knocked out of the ultimate. But mine's going to come through as well. And now 1 by 1. Frostbite once again coming in clutch here, finding these 1 by 1 picks. And so far, he has just been the absolute story for this team so far.
Man, this has been a team effort by Yessierskiii. I feel like you, in these kind of situations where one team just kind of seems to be rolling, you try to pick out 1 or 2 players that you're kind of highlighting, but it's really the entire 6. The sum of the parts is, you know, or the what is it, the total is greater than the sum of the parts, or however that saying goes. They're just meshing really well together right now. Everybody is in simpatico. They're firing on all cylinders, and it's actually just beautiful Overwatch to watch when that dive is working to perfection.
Exactly. Mikuyuki back online with that Pulse Bomb. Already getting low. Frostbite ends up going 1, ends up dropping in the process. They are going to commit Flux into that. The Pulse Bomb did come through, but it's just going to get rid of Immortality Field. And it's not going to bring much value to him as 3 people are already down, and Yessierskiii going to have to drop out of this fight. Going to have to regroup here with a lot of their ults now taken out of the picture, but the same can be said for Suavemente.
Yeah, absolutely, but Yessierskiii, if we see 1 ult online, I expect Veswa to use it very, very early, and I expect Jabori to kind of engage with this Valkyrie to go into it, maybe try to get some amp in there to get some other people closer to their ultimates. But it does look like a bit of a 50-50 kind of attack here as the team is splitting to try and attack
Yeah, but Frostbite ends up dying really quick in the battle. Akumed already dropping as well. Both things are already down for Yessierskiii, and you might consider this fight over as is. Does get brought back into the fight right there. Valkyrie does end up getting popped. Veswa does end up finding the short end of the stick in the Tracer 1v1.
That is a late Primal Rage. I don't know about that call.
That is a late Primal Rage, but we said the same thing last time. Maybe it'll come into effect again, but right now they're running through a rally window, coming through as well. Gonna try and find some value off that. Mine's coming through now too. This is an absolute ultimate parade right now, but none of them are finding any value whatsoever. Everyone's still staying up in the fight. Akemi drops in the back trying to find someone. Yessierskiii manages to find Mad Max. That's down a main tank right there. That's what trying to do work, but Delaney managed to find 3 with their ultimate. Absolutely massive, and they're gonna take second point right here.
Man, they are proving us wrong. Like, we don't know what we're talking about. There were a couple late ults by both the tanks. It actually had me questioning if they were going to swap off of the dive finally into that double shield because of the way the ults came out. They were down when both of those ults came out, but they were able to stay in the fight. So just a tip of the cap as a support player myself to these support players for keeping this side of Yessierskiii up. Jabori and not JHV is keeping this team alive in some dire situations.
Exactly, yeah. Bob got initiated pretty early into this fight. Not gonna find anything, but Yessierskiii does drop early in the fight as well. Jabori drops as well, and this fight's basically over. Delaney just gonna have to drop down right there. 3 down. Yep, this fight's basically over with not a whole lot of investment on this side outside of the Bob right there. So relatively clean fight right there. Not too many ults wasted.
Yeah, it really was, and it kind of resets the ult economy a little bit and actually gives it to Suavemente as we see the bongo come down to try and engage this fight. We see a lot of ults coming online. We'll have to see if Yessierskiii invests any or just kind of goes with a dry fight to swing it back.
Yeah, Mad Max only finding 1 out of that. Frostbite getting caught up in it, but Frostbite does manage to stay alive, trying to get them healing back up. Frostbite's gonna go right into the fight. Already sitting on that bongo again, but absolutely getting shredded through window right now. Gonna find something to set. Absolutely good minds, but still, the fight is still over in favor of Suavemente, and here we go! They're going right back at it with that very aggressive Primal Rage right now. Oh my goodness gravy. We judge it every time, but it ends up coming clutch.
He hits it on
It's
cooldown.
basically on cooldown. And once again, it comes up big, and now we're coming down to this final fight. Minute and a half sitting left on the clock. They're really going to go into this with Rally and Bob, and I don't know if that's going to be enough for them here. It's just Yessierskiii's been so consistent so far. They switch over to their own ball to try to make something happen here, but they're absolutely going to get caught out too quick. Ball going to come through, manages to get the monkey in that, but Bob is going to fall down right there. Have a nice trip to get fall. And this fight, 1 by 1, is going to favor Yessierskiii, trying to keep the stall for as long as they can. Pulse Bomb not going to find anyone. King going to fall in the background. Jepster as well. No healing left. The tank's going to try to see what little stall they can do. That's what back up on the point. Right now, it's just being kept in that little background right now. But Nod manages to drop as well. Healing's going to drop out of this. They're trying to keep the stall going. Araki's going to drop as well. King trying to see what they can do. It's so back and forth, still trying to create something. This stall is absolutely massive right now. Still 40 seconds on that clock. They're absolutely stalling this out.
Yeah,
the fight's not quite in their favor, though.
Oh, big pulse bomb!
That's a big pulse bomb! Absolutely massive error. That's what the last people sitting back on the point.
Get on the point!
It's absolutely massive right now, but 30 seconds left. Are they able to bring this to the Emma here? They're going to see if they can perhaps bring this to overtime. Brick does touch, but no one else barely manages to touch. Unfortunate, 23 seconds left on the clock. Yessierskiii's going to finish up. Oh my, what a stall. I have to say that from going into that fight with a minute and a half, managing to knock a whole minute off that clock, you hate to see it if you're Suavemente that they have time left on that clock, but still, it could have been a lot worse for them going into that fight. But all props to Yessierskiii for managing to burst through that fight.
Yeah, that was something there. Being able to, that was just a heck of a hold. So that is the kind of hold that you think may get Suavemente back in this thing and get them some momentum, because they were looking at a big time bank, was Yessierskiii, but able to stall it out and get it under 30 seconds there. 23 left on the clock, but it is a full cap, so that is good news for Yessierskiii as we see Suavemente on the attack.
What?
It looks like they're peeking with the Orisa. We'll have to see. It looks like the dive defense as well.
Wow, That's legitimately shocking to me. Like, it's worked well for them, but still, defense dive. That's not one of the best defensive comps you've seen.
It's really not, but I think it will work given the way they play. Frostbite is able to get in that back line and create enough pressure in the back line that it forces the attackers to play a little bit more passively. But at the same time, we'll have to see if this hog of Mad Max is enough to make a difference here as we're getting a look at the hog, see if he can get a little halt hook here maybe with the Orisa and create a lot more pressure. They need to find an answer for Delina, which they still really haven't had the whole time.
Yeah, even still running that double hit scan, really not managed to finding a lot of picks of them. Frostbite coming through, managing to force out Immortality fairly early in the fight. And Delana, like you said, gonna go in there, burst out a ton of damage, but Academic dying so early in this fight as well. Frostbite's absolutely won, trying to sprint around the point. Delina drops. Marika is gonna come alive in this fight, managing to find 3 picks.
Yeah,
it looks like
big.
that was quick. Yeah, that was quick as can be now, as they're gonna take this even quicker than Yessierskiii managed to take it. Gonna take it with less than a minute. Wow.
Yeah, that's just an impressive attack. We've been talking up Yessierskiii this whole time, but Suavemente finally getting a little bit of momentum on their side, and maybe that stall was enough to kind of light the fire underneath them because they really had a chance to keep contesting almost till overtime the way they were staggered. So a little bit of pressure now on Yessierskiii. Let's see, this is the first real shot that they've taken. Let's see if they can answer back here as they're going to try and set up on this high ground to dive just on the other side of this archway, I believe.
Yeah, but that's what manages to drop kind of early in this fight. Respawns are going to come through. They are going to be able to get back into this fight relatively early. And still, it's such a weird decision to run in with this dive cup. You're only going to be able to commit so much pressure. False Spawn's going to come through. Nod is going to get caught with that right there. Veswa is looking to come alive here. Window is going to come through as well. Delina is going to find Veswa to avenge their fallen teammates. Still a 5v5. All coming through one after another. And right now, Delina is still sitting on that barrage. Wonder if they're going to go for it, but they're slowly dropping in health. Not able to get the kill.
Oh, big hook!
One big hook has to drop from that right there. And now, Red's going to try to come through, and they're not going to find anyone. Ends up being a waste, but once again, they're getting this payload moving. They're moving this so much faster than Yessierskiii was doing, and Yessierskiii was already moving at a really fast pace.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. This is just impressive what we're seeing, this turnaround. It's like a whole different team after we swap things around a little bit here on the side of Suavemente, but Meraki here just making all kinds of plays on that Ash now. Maybe just needed to get that aim warmed up a little bit here.
Yeah, and if right now, if you are Yessierskiii, you're going to put your ult into this fight, and if this doesn't work, you have to swap after this. You're absolutely getting rolled right now, and just like that, you've already rushed Jabori, who got caught with that pulse bomb right there. Right, Yuki getting more picks right now. Delana manages to find 2. Looks like they're going to hold on to this point now, but at what cost? Having to use 5 of their ultimates in this fight just to hold right here.
Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to commit that many, but the ult economy going to be in the favor of Suavemente, and only that one little pulse bomb on the side of Yessierskiii. I don't like the looks of that going into it with this dive comp. You need something to get some value. You're going to have to rely on a stick to get that extra value, because I expect to see this this beatdown bongo of Excel come out very quickly to engage this fight.
Yep, agreed. And right now they're holding up right now, waiting for people to get into position. Make sure everyone's there right now, but this has to be an absolute fat stick by Makiyuki. And we can only see what happens here. 3 minutes left on that clock as the fight's going to engage. But just like that, guys, at the very beginning of the fight, gonna find no value, not even managing to use Pulse Bomb. 2 picks already down. Mad Max gonna initiate that whole hog right there, keeping people off the point. Jabori on top, trying to see maybe if they can stall a point just a little bit longer. Getting pulled back, caught, absolutely destroyed right there. Delaney gonna try to see if they can create some kind of miracle here with Frostbite, trying to see what they can do, but a little less than 2 meters left on that Frostbite, gonna get deleted, and now 4 minutes in the time bank left for them right here, and they're absolutely storming through Kings Row now.
Yeah, a little bit of a swap here. They're gonna swap over to this double shield with the Zenyatta, so we're going a little top tier meta here, as we're gonna see the McCree come out. I'm actually kind of surprised by that, going double range here, but we'll have to see if they can get some value out of this Discord orb. But Delana already set up on that high ground on the Ash.
Oh yeah, window coming through, not able to find anyone. Immortality gets forced out by both sides. Bob is gonna find their way out there right now, force himself onto the point. No one finding any value right there, but just like that, as I say that, 3 picks coming through really quick right here. And my goodness, gravy right now. Suavemente is absolutely barreling their way through this right now.
Yeah,
and you gotta wonder what kind of fight are they gonna be able to put up? No ultimates right now. Bob's back online as well. Raleig's gonna be coming online too.
They made all those swaps and it wasn't enough time. They're gonna go ahead and swap again. I like going ahead and swap it again. Gonna try and match with the brig and go full dive back with the ball here to touch.
Yeah, but ball's gonna get stunned out right now. Trying to stay alive. Frostbite is slowly dropping right now. Vespa comes through big on a pulse bomb though. That's gonna be massive. Vespa gets 2. It's absolutely massive right now, and it's not gonna be enough. And now 3:23 sitting on the clock, and just if you thought Yessierskiii did it well, Suavemente did it incredibly well.
Yeah, that was impressive, and it didn't really stop except for the one team fight near the end of point number 2 that Suavemente was able to pick off. But like you said, they invested so many ults into that fight that it kind of handicapped them for the rest of the time. So you got to wonder how things maybe would have played out differently had they not spent all of those ults and maybe saved 1 or 2 to go into that, because the one ult they had, they got 0 value out of, and the Tracer ended up dying even trying to throw that pulse bomb. And yeah, it was just smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, and now I'm not sure if they're sticking with this, but they're definitely changing things up still right now. Looking at that McCree and Echo, still a little bit questionable. It wasn't like the dive was a bad decision on the attack, but the defense, it was truly amazing that they would go in with that. And then from what we saw, they get basically rolled running that. And even when they finally made the swaps, it was too little too late, not able to find any value or any ultimates. And finally, they're going to be swapping up, but still, I feel like this still could have worked for them doing the dive attack.
I think it could have too. I would have not changed the attack. I would have stuck with the attack. But what do I know? We'll see what we get going here, and we'll see if this is the right call, as this is the first Echo we've seen tonight. So let's see if the Echo maybe can force the difference here.
Yep, we're going to see what Delaney can do. Delaney has been hot so far on King's Row. Maybe not so much on that defense so far, but they have gotten a lot of work done throughout this entire battle right now. Now both teams just waiting for this engagement right now. Looks like they're going to go through Hotel on this engagement right here. Almost catching King out of place right there. King does manage to get behind the shields though. Keeping things alive. Nice pull right there. Getting both the tanks out in that one. And right now Vespa already grinding up on that ultimate. Sitting at 40% already. About to hit 50. Trying to stay alive in this fight. Immortality Field is going to get forced out. King is going to get caught on the process right there. Immortality Field gets dropped on the other side as well. But it's already a 5v6 over on the defense. A nice big pull as well. People still behind the shield though. Not able to quite find anything.
Oh, nice
but
shot. Oh.
Mikey
Yuki
managed to fight 3.
Calm down.
Oh my god. Absolutely massive right there. And they managed to pull through with this new comp of theirs as the clock's on a roll into overtime right here.
Yeah, I mean, the changes work. They were able to cap that a little bit faster than they did the first time. It took them a little over a minute on the first attack, and this time they only had a minute and got it right as overtime started, so somebody does have to stay with the payload now, as in overtime, as you all know, you must stay touching that payload to keep it moving. So to see how we set up here, it looks like Suavemente opting for this close-up defense here, going to go right at the archway and force the issue, and it's working so far.
Yeah, forced out immortality right there. It's a 5v5 right now. Of course, Yessierskiii gonna have the closer respawns, of course, but right now they're really trying to take this fight. They want to take it.
Man!
Yuki getting 2 on the Deadeye. Absolutely massive right there. And people trying to stand this payload, but it's just gonna keep moving forward now. Mikey Yuki coming up big once again for his team.
Yeah, and this is big because of that big time bank. They absolutely needed someone to step up and make a play. Mikey Yuki answered the call and so far has just been rolling on this attack in overtime, and we'll have to see if they can keep this rolling, as it looks like ults though on the advantage of Suavemente. We'll have to see how they navigate this. Frostbit needs to get this gravitic flux out early, and he needs it to be big.
Absolutely right now, the only real ult they have online. Rally's coming up close, but here's gonna go.
Here it is.
Pull in, gonna fight 4 right there. Immortality Field's gonna come up, but a lot of people are low right now, but Maraki's gonna find Delana. Delana dropping early in this fight. That is not a good thing right now. Bongo is gonna come out, try to push through this. The rally came out as well. We're trying to see if they can find a pick here. That's what does unfortunately get dropped as well. That's a big grab right there. It's still a 5v5 right now, but right now,
Oh,
more
man.
ults left online for either team. Window's going to come through right now. Mad Max is going to find a Kenmix.
All right, here
Mikey
we go.
Yuki dropping as well, and yeah, Window's come through, but I think it's going to be too little too late as they are able to get
Somebody's got
able
touch.
to break that point again, but no one's left right there. But still, for a minute on that clock, they managed to get it almost to second checkpoint right there, so they still have a chance here.
Oh, they absolutely do. You get a stop or two on the defense here of the first point, and all of a sudden you kind of flip the tables there on that time advantage because you took that point so far. You can really kind of sell out to defend this first point and still get another recontest if it doesn't go your way.
Exactly, and now we can expect. I think we can expect this team to stick with this double shield comp. I would be absolutely amazed if they, for some reason, thought that this defense dive was going to come back into play. But I think they've definitely smarted up. They are going to go back to that double shield. It's worked well for them now so far. Not to say their dive isn't good, but once again, it's that defense that's not going to work well with that dive, and they're to see what they can accomplish with this comp in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, that dive defense just got absolutely steamrolled. There was no resistance last time. So the double shield, they proved that they can play both ways. They can play that double shield as well, as we see the Brig come out as well on JHB, as they did try to experiment with that Zenyatta a little bit at one point, but it wasn't really working for that situation. So it's a pretty standard lineup here as we've matched on both sides. We'll see who can execute this composition better.
Yep, we're gonna have to see right here, basically a full-on mirror, as we'll see. And we're gonna see what they can do. 3:23 is gonna be on the clock for them, and so they're gonna see what they're gonna do up top. And looks like Tracer's gonna try to work their way around. Mikiyuki doesn't know if he's coming. Here comes the 1v1 right here. Gonna try to catch him off there. Neither recall coming out, but the 1v1's gonna be going on in that back area. No one's quite dead yet, but the fight's really going on here on the point. Shield's getting absolutely obliterated right now. Mortality does end up getting forced out. That's gonna be big for them right there. Right now, once again, Shield's getting obliterated. Immortality coming out for Yessierskiii now. Not so Yessierskiii, my apologies. But both Immortalities are of no use now. Both teams trying to find that opening pick right now. Right now, it's just a complete back and forth.
Oh, there
this
you
is
go.
From Shields, but there we are. There the Shields drop. Frostbit coming up big right there on the Sigma. Delaney putting in that work once again. The first fight going to go in their favor, but unfortunately, a tick does come through.
Yes,
So
they
that's
did
one
get
tick
that
down
first
for
tick,
Joe.
but at what cost? It cost an entire minute to get that first tick, so you need a little bit faster engagement if you can. I would like to see a little more aggression here from Suavemente. It's going to be close if you're going to try and play it this way, because you're going to be right up against it to try and cap this last point.
Yeah, exactly. Yessierskiii sitting with 4 ults online. They're going to have that bomb. Pulse bomb going to come through. Going to throw right into that Immortality field. Going to find a little bit of damage, but no picks in the process. But Bob Window sitting online. Pull coming up. That's a fat pull. Not finding anyone. The Window's going to come through. Once again, not finding anyone.
Oh, the spig!
Gravitic Flux gets 2 out of that one. Mareki is going to die in the process, though. That's absolutely huge. But Fastfoot does find Frostbite directly afterwards, avenging their fallen DPS. Another big pull. Absolutely getting pulled there.
Oh,
Window going to come
could be a big
through
window.
now. Oh, that's a big window right there. Jabari coming in big right there. And just like that, another stop. And once again, they use 2 ults there, finding no value off of that. But they're going to be going back in with this advantage on the ultimates now, having that rally and Gravitic Flux on them.
Yeah, and that was just a situation where Yessierskiii just happened to be positioned better. They were able to use a little bit more natural cover when the shields went down, and that was kind of the difference there, because the tanks of Suavemente got left on an island there. Excellax with no shield or Sigma to protect him. It was kind of island.
Yeah, and Pull coming through, managed to find 3 on that one, but I think he
Oh,
got
but he
knocked
dies!
out. He got killed. Absolutely massive right there for Mikiyuki. Pig right there. Delaney's going to drop in the process now, though, but 2 people are already done. Jepster's going to get caught out in that process as well. And now, if you're Suavemente, you're looking at final fight here already. You had such an incredible advantage of your time bank, and now you're sitting here with this last fight with Bob and maybe Bongo online, but I guess, you know, similar can be said over on Yessierskiii. They might get that pulse bomb, and that's likely all they're going to get. So let's see if they can clutch this one out. Bob's going to get thrown into the back right now. Yeah, backline Bob. Not finding too much fight yet, but it's going to force you
Nobody's
to
on the
back out a little
point.
bit here. Yeah, nobody. That's going to have
Oh, this is big.
right there. Oh, pulse bomb comes through. That's big, but it's inside of
Somebody's
the
got to get on.
That doesn't matter. People are managing to get on. And
This Bob.
Back and forth, but the Bob comes in so huge right there. The clock's quickly winding down. I don't think
Nobody's gonna
anyone
touch
this. Yep, nobody's gonna touch this. An absolute clutch from Yessierskiii coming through big on that 3.5-minute hold. And just like that, they're up 2-0 in this series now.
Yeah, and that is so deflating for the side of Suavemente. Everything was going the way they wanted to after that attack. You know, you had Yessierskiii come in and choose to attack first and kind of put up a time, and it looked like they were almost unstoppable. And then Suavemente came back and was just incredible on that attack, making that huge time bank, almost 3.5 minutes. And they only got that first tick after that first 1 minute long team fight.
I know, it's absolutely massive, and like you said, it's deflating for Suavemente going into there with so much momentum, and they don't manage to pull it through. They didn't even manage to get first point, and now you're down 0-2. What do you do next? What map do you go to next? How do you change things up? That's like the mindset that goes into these teams that are falling behind quickly in these series, and with all this on the line right now, you can see the pressure. It's obviously getting to them now. They're not able to finish this out.
Yeah, but this isn't the first time I've seen a game start like this that could go the other way. We had one that ended up being a 2-0 that looked like it was going to be a roll. The team ended up losing 4-2. They didn't end up winning another map after they went to the assault map. So we'll have to see if they've got a special assault strategy up their sleeve, as the choice will be Volskaya, Anubis, or Hanamura, waiting on the map selection to come in from the side of Suavemente. It looks like it comes in right now, and it will be Volskaya.
Volskaya, okay, I can see that definitely. I don't know. I think it's a good map pick for them.
I think it is too.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Because once again, you don't know if they're gonna try to run this dive back on the attack. Whether they do go on the attack first or not, I don't know if they've decided on that one quite yet.
They have not decided on that yet. I am getting that in from them right now. I just sent it out, so we'll see if they respond here as we get everything else up and going here. And it looks like we will keep the same sides here.
All right, so she's starting on that attack first. All right. And I don't know. I think the dive could work for them, but I think they're gonna bust back out with this double shield at first. I could imagine it. I think that on Volskaya, even though there is a lot of high ground to contest with, I just feel like they're gonna get more value out of this double shield comp that I think has arguably worked about as well as their dive has for them.
Yeah, I can't argue with it. It's pretty impressive to see a team that can actually play both styles, because they are very unique styles, and they ask different things out of your DPS, your tanks, and your supports, all three. Support probably being the least of which. You just kind of have to follow the tanks kind of in both situations, and then assist your DPS when they need it. But it is a different philosophy, but then at the same time, it's similar in the way that you use the Orisa Halt to group people up, and you focus the damage in. So it kind of plays both ways there, but it's nice to see both teams, or I should say, executing it to perfection. At least the double shield both teams are. We haven't seen a dive yet out of Suave.
Yeah, I don't think we are going to either. I think they're.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it. I think they're really. Yeah, I think they found what they want to do with this lineup of this double shield. I can't imagine them switching it, especially when this might just be the most comfortable comp for them as well. Maybe that's what they've been practicing all week. They've been sticking with. I can't imagine them switching it up.
Yeah, I couldn't see that either. But we will go ahead and load in to Volskaya, as both teams did give me the ready up.
All right. And Yessierskiii, like I said, on the attack starting out here. Let's see what they run, whether that's going to be that dive competition or that double shield. I have $10 on double shield, and
that's probably a safe bet. I'm not even going to take it.
Did I say $10? That was just a joke. We scripted that. Yep, definitely scripted. All scripted.
All right. As we will load in here in just a second. I was making sure everything was connected. Let's go into this game.
Yep. You see that? See this Orisa Hog still coming out from Suavemente. not a big change here once again. Only difference really being that variation of Mad Max running between the Hog and the Sigma, but it's been all the same for them so far. This is just what they're comfortable with. They're gonna try to see if they can make it work here on Sky, and if you're gonna turn around, you need to do it right here. You need to start moving this momentum in your favor, because you end up going down 3-0. The chances of you winning have turned to almost nil.
Yeah, it becomes a big road to haul there. So we'll have to see what happens here, as it looks like this dive is going to come in, but the double shield going to try and set up on the high ground on top of point and just dare that dive to come at him.
Yep, exactly. Gonna have to try to force them to come up there, but that's a nice little, ooh, that's a nice big combo right there. Jepster dives really quick into this fight as well. Only 30 seconds in. Oh my god, Lena drops to the process as well. Both DPS now down. And, well, it looked like it was going to be in their favor getting that first pick, and they ended up losing 3, and this fight's basically over with Academic trying to get out of there with their life intact, and just doesn't manage to do it in the end.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person, but I'm not sure the dive is going to work against this lineup. That Hog has seemed to make the difference against that dive and forced it some problems so far. At least on King's Row, they weren't able to do as much when that Hog was engaged, and they had to switch to the double shield.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say go at it again if you had started having these ultimates online, but both tanks sitting around 40, and they found almost no value so far, while Veswa sitting at 80% of their pulse bomb already. They're going to have that online, yet they tail into this fight right here. Mortality Field coming out early in this fight, managing to force it out.
Pulse there?
Pulse
oh, nope.
It was a lot of damage in the pulse, but once again, Mortality Field's there, not able to really find anything. Veswa sitting out with their own pulse bomb. They're up 1 now. Pulse bomb's going to come through. Is going to find Jabori. That's 2 down already, and just like that, they're falling apart once again. Delana does manage to find 1 pick as well. Vespa gonna kill Not just afterwards as well, and Delaney just decides it's over with, and they are off the cliff right there. And that's 2 successful defenses now so far, and I think Suavemente is finally getting this momentum in their favor. They have the ult economy right now. The dive's not working for them right now, but they're still going to invest the ultimate and see what they can do, but if this doesn't work, you've got to switch afterwards.
Yeah, one would think you do have the ults online here. Well, I expect to see these mines come out, and as we right on cue.
Yeah, right on cue, but it's such a weird mines right there. Bob's gonna come through, slap a couple of them mines right into the face right there. Then Max gonna come out with the whole hog when 2 of his guys just die as he pushes that out right there. Mikiyuki does manage to drop in the process. Bob just sitting off a point right now. The rally gonna come through. Vespa does manage to find Delaney. That is a massive pick as Mikiyuki gets res back in the fight right there. And the picks are coming through, finally coming through. And it looks like they're going to take this first point. That little bit of stall left, but yep, this fight's definitely over with. And after what was quite a bit of a struggle, Yessierskiii is going to take this point with only about a minute left in the time bank.
Yeah, that fight was all over the place, as I'm sure everybody just saw. You had players fighting each other everywhere. We ended up with a Brig v. Orisa, a 1v1 on the point, I believe, at one point there. And you know, who said Brig was a support, just going tank to tank with that Orisa and giving her all she could handle?
Yeah, Brig is all the above right now. You need a tank, you need GPS, a support, cover all basics right there. They're going to go for this dive in the slow corridor, and Primal Rage is going to get invested up, going to try to boob some people off the edge here. Oh, that's going to get one. He barely finds one, and Mikiyuki finding a big one, and a lot of ultimates get invested here, but they're absolutely tearing this fight open. Delaney does get dropped in the process. But Immortality Field, not Immortality Field, Rez is still there. Rez gonna bring them back up. Frostbite gonna find Vespa. And mine setting all around the point. 1 tick right now. They're coming up on 2. The ball's gonna try to come back, see if they can contest right here. They're gonna dump themselves right into these mines right here. Not quite dropping, but Mad Max trying to create time, but he got off a point.
Oh no!
He couldn't re-engage.
I think he thought that there was help coming behind, but the mines had them blocked off. They couldn't get there. I think the Reaper was coming back to touch, but couldn't quite get through the mines in time. Oh.
Right, the mines were finally spread, and no one was able to get on that point, or the people that were supposed to didn't touch because of the mines, and that's such a big play from him too.
That is, because you could have eaten a lot more of that clock there, as we see 3:11 up there on the clock for the side of Yessierskiii. My word.
Yeah, after you manage to hold them with only a minute left on their clock on first point, and then you just absolutely fall apart and get off a point on the second, and that's That's a big mess up right there when you started finally getting the momentum in your favor, and after getting off a point, 3 minutes in that time bank now for Yessierskiii, it's just
Well,
that's gotta be such a blow to them.
yeah, but they're feeling confident here after that, and they're going to go ahead and try this dive defense again that just got absolutely destroyed on first point Kings Row. I don't know about that call.
I don't know either, but I think it's better here in Volskaya than it was in Kings Row. You do have the high ground here. You do have this area for dive to retreat to, and it's not
That's
this
true.
constant brawl on the floor.
Yeah, that
so they
is
do have
true.
this ability to move around more.
You can kind
But
of play.
I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm saying it just has a better chance to work.
Sure. There's a lot more mobility here that you can use to your advantage on the defense. I will agree with that. You don't have the big hotel blocking all of your angles.
Exactly. So we'll see what they do. I expect they're going to try to rush their way right to this point here, but it's putting off just a little bit. Vespa's going to try to look for some way around right here, looking for this back angle, but ooh, that Tracer 1v1 is going to be happening pretty early here on the side, but the real fight is going on the point. That's a big grab, too, getting caught up on that. People are going to have to start dropping around to point. But right now, Yessierskii's really spread out right now. People finally gathering in the back line, looking for the hook, not able to find anyone. Vespa ends up losing the 1v1 to Mikiyuki. Absolutely big 1v1 right there, but Delaney loses their 1v1. But manages to get the res right afterwards right now, and disengaging for a second here, getting back their cooldown, seeing what they can create. Frostbite looking for that pile drive right now, trying to find that right moment.
There it is.
And just find quite a few. Does get a few, and that pull comes through. Not going to find anyone in that exchange. Atlanta's sitting at 65% to their bob right now. Jabori got so low, but just barely manages to stay up right there. And still no one dropping left in this fight. Another big pile drive right now. Mikiyuki gonna have that pulse bomb online.
There's
one already
stick.
down. Pulse bomb comes through, but Jebster managed to have Immortality Field up on time, not finding anything right there. Window gonna come through as well. And right now this is completely in the favor. Right now, it's. I can't see them pulling this back right now. One tick already through. They're sitting up top. They're trying to see if they can create something up here. They might. Frostbite is going to come back and recontest, but he's still sitting a nice chunk away from his ult. Delaney gets low, manages to stay alive. Delaney's bob gets absolutely obliterated, as do they in the process as well. Frostbite still not quite there on the ult. Jabori getting so low. I wonder if they're going to invest this Valkyrie into this. I couldn't imagine it if they want to keep bringing this into it. 2 ticks now on the point right here. Mines did come out as well, not finding anyone quite there, but Mareiki just managed to drop in the background. Frostbite did end up finding someone. It's still a back and forth fight now. They're trying to bring this back. Frostbite coming back through, delivering a ton of damage, not dropping in the process. Absolutely big rally right there. Vespa got that pick right there. Immortality, not able to really find anything there off the pulse bomb. And God, this fight is just absolutely all over the place right now.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, Hunter. This is a tough one to call, but it looks like the Brig is alone on the point right now, and we see the Tracer trying to come back and keep this attack alive, but it looks like Yessierskiii will go ahead and hold here, and unfortunately, Mad Max is in a bad spot, not going to be able to get out.
But he got,
gonna get
but he got 2 people. Yeah, but he got 2. Like,
oh, vape, bro. Keep vaping.
I don't know. And he's got 3. Oh, my God. Oh,
I don't know what that was, but all of a sudden, Suavemente, whoa, they're back on the point.
Yeah, they got back immediately. And Frostbite's going to try to stall this out. They're going to drop mines, but dies right afterwards. Briggs going to try to recontest Monkey's back as well, but this fight is basically over with. Mad Max just got 3 picks while the rest of the team was dead.
Mad Max, play of the game there. It may not be play of the game at the end, but that was the play of the game to keep this thing alive as we see that clock ticking down. I don't know if they would have got many more. They probably only had 1 more engage after that.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought he was just going to get staggered out, but he found 3 picks. I don't know how you let that happen if you're Suavemente. I don't know how you let that hog come through at the end of that fight and get those 3 picks. But we're back into this fight. Pulse Bomb not finding anything once again. Immortality Fields are coming up very quickly for them as well. But coming back and forth, Delaney's Bob's going to get destroyed, but it really doesn't matter. 3, 4, 5 picks already, and they're going to stop the momentum then and there. 3 minutes city left on the clock, and Suavemente is going to have to come up with something here now as they're still running this dive defense, which we thought wasn't going to work, but so far, I mean,
proving us wrong.
It's not doing terrible.
Yeah, and
like
it's almost like it is probably it's almost like this kryptonite to the Suavemente team, because it's making the Suavemente team look silly at times, but I know this is a good Suavemente team because I have actually cast them already at least once this year, maybe even twice. I've seen these guys play a little bit. These were the best. This was, in the regular season, the best team, probably. So this is a heck of a matchup and quite a showcase Yessierskii's putting on as we see the engage starting.
Yeah, it's finally starting out. Frostbite sitting on line with those mines right now. So we're going around in circles right now, almost getting caught out, unfortunately. But managing to find the way out of here. Mad Max working the way to the background, but right now he's getting absolutely surrounded right now. He's absolutely won right now. He's going to manage to heal himself up a bit. Cadmid going to bust out that Primal Rage. Valkyrie out as well, but he's going to get
Oh, man,
caught.
these mines are everywhere.
Yeah, the mines are absolutely everywhere. They're all over the place. Nowhere is safe for now, but look, two ticks are already on the point right now. It's still back and forth for them right now. They're trying to keep the stall out right now. Frostbite, oh my goodness,
Rick
coming
doing
through
everything
well.
in the rally.
Trying to do the best they can to keep this fight alive. King's gonna drop as well, and not dropping right after Vespa, trying to pull through on these picks, seeing what they can do, but he drops to the bob, and somehow they managed to hold here again. I
didn't see that coming, but they were able to actually make sure Mad Max got out this time. So they, Max wasn't able to disrupt this backline again and cause the free point, essentially. But a minute and a half here. Time starting to be an issue for Suavemente. We talked about how big this was because you do not want to go down 3-0 in a first to 4 series because that is just next to impossible. Everything has to go right at that point. Zero room for error.
Exactly right here. Vespa trying to find something. Pulse bomb coming through. Oh, my Cadman almost gets themselves killed right there. It's like they went up to block it or something, but they ended up taking a big chunk of their health away. I mean, big brain play to get all that healing through, get that ult charge up a little bit more, trying to gather that rally for what might be final fight, but they're staying on point, getting little by little added on here. Frostbite trying to find something right now. Not a whole lot of ultimates sitting on line, but they're going to pull Bongo into this, going to try to catch a Godmid. They get a Godmid, but Vespa did drop early in the fight as well.
Be careful.
Yeah, it's trying to. They end up getting one pig. Is it going to get two? It is going to find two. Mickey Yuki going to try to bring this one back.
These mines, though.
Yeah, they are big mines. They had to push them on the point. They're pushing the lawful point right now still, and I think this fight is almost over with again.
Healer
just
here.
11. Yeah, that's once again. There's 20 seconds left on that clock, and Mad Max is in complete no man's land right now.
And I think he's
not
going to be able to clutch up 3 more kills that time. And look at this time bank.
No,
you're not going to get a full engage here.
Yeah, who's even touching? Who in this team can even touch this point right now?
Tracer can touch.
Oh, Tracer is coming around the backside. Yep. Oh, almost catches him out, but they are going to get the re-engage here.
The brig was so close to that stun.
I know. It was almost massive right there.
I got to believe this Primal Rage is about to come out. Here it is.
Yeah, it's coming out right now. King does manage to drop. Oh, my goodness. And they're just getting obliterated one by one as Immortality Field is forced out. Bob is going to come through, but Bob is going to go on a trip once again, not wanting to play on the point right there. And just like that, now it's 3-0 in favor of Yessierskiii. What an amazing hold on that defense.
This has been an absolute clinic right now by Yessierskiii. There has been an answer, though, for Suavemente, little bits at a time. So this thing is not over by any stretch. It's just a big hill to climb is all it is. You've dug yourself quite the hole, but it can be done. There's a reason why we play the first to 4. We want to give teams a chance just in case they get a slow start, and this is the opportunity for Suavemente to figure it out, right the ship, but right now is when you have to do it.
Exactly. Down 3-0, you're at the lowest of your low right now. This is where, if you're going to create this comeback story, you've got to do it now. First, it's... I don't know. This is... It's so weird. We didn't think this dive comp would work.
I know, and I didn't think we were going to get this one-sided team fights for the most part. It's just such a great dive, and I think the other thing that we must note is, I guess, I want to say almost lackadaisical push from Suavemente. There's been quite a few times where they got in these minute-long team fights where it's almost better just to lose the team fight and reset. But you're kind of stalling these team fights and dragging them out against this dive that can jump in and jump out and just keep getting back at you and really eat that clock. And that was the case there. A minute and a half, I believe, for that last push there from Yessierskiii. And Mad Max died with 15 seconds left.
Yeah, Mad Max.
I mean, you gotta know when to get out and disengage, and I think that has been the difference. They haven't been able to disengage.
They have it. A lot of these players, they try to go their own routes a little bit, try to get these sneak picks. We saw that from Mad Max quite a bit in this whole series, and sometimes it works out, but a lot of the times it's not the option, especially when you need this fast, this quick, this heavy engage, and when you're flanking around like that. When he was caught up in that last fight as well, he went over to the side, got caught up by 2 people, and he was sidelined for a little while in that fight, and even though he came back, he ended up getting himself so staggered he couldn't be there for the final fight. They could barely get the touch out, and it just didn't even matter.
Yes, and but you know, to be fair, he was able to get that pressure on and actually capitalize on the first point. So it goes your way sometimes in those situations, but it just wasn't there this time.
Right. No, it's not like in every situation. It is case by case. There are sometimes where it does work and it is a good play. But you know, you do something so much, they're eventually going to catch on to it. Like, I thought that Suavemente would catch on to this dive and find the solution to it. They're figuring out little by little, but little by little, it's not enough when you're down 3-0 in a series like this.
It's not, but at the same time, I mean, now's the chance you do it, and maybe at this point, you find it by just, you know, reeling back and reaching for something that you haven't really tried. Like maybe you do decide to swap to a Reaper or something, just some kind of big damage to try and punish. I don't know what the answer is exactly because of how well Yessierskiii is executing right now. And no swaps, as we will head to Rialto for the last point, and it looks like I'm just waiting on one more ready up. As you see the recap on your screen now, it's been all Yessierskiii so far in this one. So this is do or die time for Suavemente. They must win this map to keep going. Obviously, in the outside chance that there is a draw, you can draw on an escort map. It's very hard to do, but you can do it.
Right.
It would be extended, so it is a 1st to 4.
Exactly. And you were saying, what were the other 2 maps for escort? Because I don't know how I feel about Rialto.
Rialto has been the popular pick. I guess people love the Corner of Death, but the other 2 options that they had at their disposal were Havana and Route 66. So I
guess I could see why Rialto a bit. I guess I can. There's a lot of those maps. There is a nice chunk of high ground, like maybe excluding Route 66 a bit, but
I would say Rialto least advantage for the dive comp.
Yeah, but I do think all these maps hold some relative advantage, and I think, are we getting a swap finally?
I have not heard, so I am still waiting to hear this. Because they made the map pick, and it looks like they've got a different player in here. So they are ready. They did make a swap, so we're gonna. Looks like Aaron is coming in. The very hard to pronounce name of Aaron.
Yep, Aaron. Very hard to pronounce.
I'm just actually impressed that he has that name. Like that was available.
Straight up Aaron. This isn't PC. You can't just have any name.
Wow. This is PS4. You can't just have any name. It's not like Xbox or PC where you can have any name. That's impressive.
I don't even know anymore.
All right, let's get it, Aaron. We put you in. Let's see it.
Right. Who did Aaron? I'm gonna call him Aaron this whole time now.
Yeah, he's Aaron now.
He's Aaron now. Who did Aaron come in for? I was trying to take a close look.
I can't even recall because I was too busy swapping everything around, and for me to remember that is just too much of a stretch.
Wasn't it the other?
It was
TPS?
the other TPS.
I don't want to butcher their name. Yeah.
Mayuyuki, that's what it was.
Makiyuki is
that's on the other team. Yeah, I'm so lost trying to do 8 things at once.
But I don't disagree with the decision per se. I think they have something a little more. I was gonna say a little different lined up.
Maraki, I think, was the other player.
Yeah, Maraki. Okay, yeah. But the only difference seeing Aaron's gonna run this Echo now instead, which I don't know. It could prove to be the difference on a map like Rialto, where there is a lot of room to move around. So, gonna see how well that works for them while they're first to defend over here in Rialto.
Yep, as we see that dive that Yessierskiii has kind of been brought to fruition.
Oh my god! Frostbite just dead out the gate, and Aaron's the one to do it as well, already making their impact right here.
A little bit more of a passive defense. Big.
Yeah, this is way more passive than I used to. patient, but Frostbite gonna start working their way out and try to find something. Waiting for that right moment right there, trying not to get caught up by the break. Gonna wait for this quick engage when everyone gets back here ready to go. No one's seen him quite yet. Oh, King does see it though. Finds a lot of people in that, but no actual value coming through on that right now. Immortality Field is gonna come out as well. Veswa gonna find Mikiyuki in the process. Jepster's Immortality Field gonna drop as well, but Frostbite drops as well. Hey, Aaron gonna drop in the process as well. Mikiyuki brought back into the fight. Still pretty even, but they're gonna have to do this little backup operation, but finding no one on the hook right there. Bob already ready to go here. Trying to find something. Bob did get pooped away, but just into this little corridor where it still has full advantage, and
oh man,
still coming out big on some of these picks, and gonna get this cart rolling once again. While hey, look, Mad Max is getting caught there at the end, and yeah, that was a good fight for them as well. I think it was a little iffy at first, but they definitely brought that back.
Yeah, and that kind of team fight alluded to what I was talking about earlier with the not fully disengaging and allowing this dive to kind of just get their cooldowns back, because they get their cooldowns back a lot faster than your tanks do on this defense, and they just kind of hit around the corner and then got back in, were able to take full advantage there.
Yeah, exactly. I think Pulse One just came through, didn't really find anything. Immortality Field did come out. Frostbite is going to come through with those mines, is going to find Veswa in the process as well. Mad Max going to bust. That's a lot of damage. Maddox came out with that whole hog. He managed to find a Covenant, but before he tried in the process as well. Takes him through one by one, and it looks like this fight's going to go in the favor of Yessierskiii. That's first point, and what is relatively good time.
Oh, had a chance to get out there and decides to go ahead and step up and die on the point.
Yeah, Mad Max not able to quite get out of there themselves, and yeah, that's going to be a bit of a stagger for them right there. It looks like they're not going to be able to contest for a hot minute here now, waiting for everyone to get back, and yeah, like I said, they're rolling through this so far.
Yeah, we got a couple ultimates online. We've got the Primal Rage and the Rally on the side of Yessierskiii, but we also, Suavemente has that beatdown bongo and the most exciting ultimate in the game, which is Echo's ultimate here. Let's see. Oh, as we're gonna go ahead and go ball mode.
Yeah. Oh, ball. It's gonna try to bring that fight back to themselves.
Quick
Mine's gonna come out. Yeah, very quick mine. Try to pull him back, but it separates the supports from the team a little bit. Aaron trying to keep them in that backfield, and right now it just didn't prove to do a whole lot. 3 picks already down. Aaron looking to stall that point. It looks like a little bit as once again Yessierskiii just rolling through this right now. Mad Max only managed to find the 1 pick, and now still this is a steamroll right now. They're absolutely rolling through Rialta right now. The pick.
Yeah.
The Ultimate's not able to do anything.
It looked like they were dead in the water when Frostbite was getting picked, like those first 2 or 3 fights on the corner of death. He wasn't able to get any value, but the team was able to just kind of stay in a 5-person unit there, stay out of cover, and make it start rolling, and it hasn't stopped since. Big pick there by Mad Max, or big hook by Mad Max.
Yeah, right there. Vespa getting 2 nice picks right there, and kind of silence down this fight before anything was really put into action. Unfortunately, though, King did engage with that rally when they were down 1, and it's not going to find any value for them as well.
Yeah, Mad Max getting a lot of value on this hog. Probably more value on the hog than they had on the Sigma, because he's eating almost every hook I've seen him throw. Just at everyone, as we see the ultimate coming out here in the back line.
Yeah, whole hog manages to absolutely just destroy Knot, and looking for the hook, not able to find anyone there, but he's still finding a nice chunk of value. He's going to get out of this fight alive, taking a lot of damage though, but is going to stay alive in the process. Just find a Codman in the process. It finds Mikiyuki too. Mad Max is coming alive in the series. He does not want to lose this here and now. He wants to help his team bring this back.
Yeah, he's making huge plays right now. Unfortunately, though, his style he's going to have to play, he's forcing the Brig to play a lot more with the Orisa and keep that pressure off. The Hog can't do as well a job as a Sigma to help protect that Orisa as a 2-piece a tank line there. So you're almost like an extra DPS on that Hog looking for those big hooks as we see the Slam coming in to engage.
Oh yeah, agreed. Immortality Field comes out kind of early. The mines came through. Didn't find that much value out of it. Mad Max though is going to drop early in this fight. Window coming through. Gonna try to find a little bit of value off of that, but no one's dropping thus far. Mikiyuki manages to find more picks again. Frostbite getting those people with the mines right there. A lot of engagement with the ults right there, but it does really work in their favor. They're still gonna have Rally and Valkyrie going into this, and really only with that Echo all online for this last fight with 3 minutes, a little less than 3 minutes sitting on that clock. Here we go. Yeah, the fight's going to engage right away. Gonna see what they can do. Aaron almost drops the process as well. Got burned right there. Kane's gonna drop really early on the dive right there. Rally coming through. Aaron is going to delete Delaney. Gonna see what they can do with their own ultimate, but goes for the copy. I think he got like deleted right out of it as well. Finding nothing right there. And only Vespa trying to do the stall right now, but not even able to touch the point. 2.5 minutes on Rialto. That is a relatively tough map to finish.
Yeah,
and
that's
still managed
a
in
quick
2.5 minutes.
That's a quick time. They just kind of started rolling, and it's where the fight started that you never actually got into that advantage, the spawn advantage for the defenders there, because it is a hard one to cap there at the end, as you're just kind of almost diving right into the spawn at the last point there on Rialto. But big bank, so Suavemente, you know, you've got a big hill to climb already, and it's getting bigger and bigger as 2.5 minutes. So you definitely have to 3-cap. That is step number 1. Make sure you 3-cap this thing. Because if you 3-cap, you will get another opportunity, and that's how you get back in this thing. So step 1, just worry about the 3-cap. You can't worry about the time bank right now.
No, you can't. You got to take the step by step right here. Even when you have all this pressure, when you're at the lowest of low, you still got to go step by step. You got to worry about getting this point. You don't have to worry about finishing with more time. You just have to worry about giving yourself the opportunity to still win this map.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope they can focus on it.
And I think they have to stick with the Hog Orisa here, because the other interesting part about that, when you're running against a dive with an Orisa, that Sigma, his ability to actually eat projectiles doesn't come into effect, because when a wrecking ball slamming down and a Winston is using his Tesla cannon, that doesn't get eaten by that ability. So that's just lost damage. If you have the Hog, you can actually get some hooks in there and try and create some damage the other way. Yeah,
exactly. Delaney already sitting at
big slam.
About 40. Yeah, big slam right there. Delaney already sitting at about 50% of their own ultimate. Absolutely massive right now. Frostbite trying to do some damage in the background. Hey, Aaron is going to drop in the process. Nice dive, and he's going to get sent right back into the air right there. And this fight's quickly coming to a close, as well as Dealer got to jump off that point and disengage from this fight. Very quick end of that fight. Not a lot of value coming off of that, but right now, ultimates are coming up very quickly for Yessierskiii already. Delaney already sitting at that 80% of that Bob now. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, and no ultimates online here, but Delana getting a lot of damage here early. Looks like Delana ready for that flank that seems to be coming in, but just as I say that, rotating back around. Oh, there it is. Able to engage on Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron going in there. Mad Max finding 2 picks now. The res is going to come through in the background. Not gonna see what they can bring into this fight. Delaney still has that Bob going through. Mikiyuki finding no real value off of that pulse bomb. Vespa with their still online. What if they're going to engage us into the fight to try to finish things off? Academic manages to barely bring out that Primal Rage. Gonna try to bring this fight back. We've doubted it in the past, but can he do it once again to bring this fight back? Bob is gonna get engaged as well. And just also coming out galore into this fight right now. Immortality Field out in the process as well. Frostbite still sitting with the mines online, but a nice stick. Vespa catching Debori out in the process.
That's a big stick.
And it looks like it is a big stick, and they're finally going to get this payload moving here.
So that stick was so big because the side of Suavemente was so spread out there. They were kind of all over the place. And that Mercy, because they're spread on the side of Yessierskiii, they're diving, so they want to be spread. That Mercy's able to jump around, but being able to stick that Mercy and take her out of that lineup, that's a big source of that healing, because the team's not grouped up to get the healing off of the Brig. And that just allowed all of that, the dominoes to fall in a row there.
Ooh, yeah, but Frostbite got eliminated as quickly as they could. Pulse Bomb's going to come through. Immortality Field manages to keep them alive in that process. Still a 5v5. He's going to copy ball again this time. Aaron going to throw the mines out there. Not finding too much value so far. Forcing them to back out just a little bit, but still, it looks like they might have to start disengaging from this fight. Yeah, I can't imagine them winning this. Aaron just fine. Academic in the end.
It is disengage time.
It is definitely disengage time, as Vespa's going to sneak their way out of there.
All of a sudden, the clock's starting to become a little bit of an issue. The payload is close. You have gotten around the corner of death. So now it is time to try and push this to that point, because that second point of Rialto favors the attackers. Just in the way it's designed, it favors you to push on through. So make sure you win this team fight. Be smart about the ults, as we see that ult coming out quickly, but not really hitting anything.
Yep, trying to catch them out with the grab right there. Not able to quite find anything right there. Gonna see what they can find here, but right now, Mines are going to come through. Mad Max is going to fight Academic in the process. It's a really big pick for them right there. Academic did have that Primal Rage for that stall. Now able to do it right there. Jabori gets caught in the process as well. And even though King drops, Mad Max is going to find another one right there. Make that 3. Delaney sitting at 1. That's what finally drops him right there. Frostbite trying to stall up for what little bit they can. With only 1 body left on the point. It looks like Suavemente is going to try to come alive. But oh, Primal Rage getting infested. But he's just going to get pushed away with Primal Rage. It's not going to matter. It just gets absolutely wasted, and they manage to get that first point right there with just a little more than 30 seconds left on that clock. Only 3 minutes sitting on that time make for them. And they're trying to get this payload moving right now.
Yeah, it was a heads-up play by Aaron there to use those abilities well and just kind of burn down that Primal Rage Winston, because all that matters is you're below half health on that Winston, and then that beam does double damage, even though he's at 500 at half.
Exactly, but yeah, we have Rally coming through from Nod. Vessel's gonna get caught out kind of early in this fight. King drops in the process as well. It's a 5v5. Immortality Field is gonna get taken out. Frostbite trying to dump it through the damage. Mickey Yuki putting in absolute work right now, 2-2 with their own picks right now. Hey, everyone's gonna manage to knock Academic off right there after shifting over to the Winston. It's a big pick right there. Trying to get Jabori. Jabori's getting so low, but not able to find the pick right there. This fight's still kind of in the favor right now of Yessierskiii, but they're just dropping one by one finally.
Survive is what they do.
They survived. Oh, but Mad Max is gonna get caught out there in the end. And yeah, Frostbite came back in clutch with 3 picks right there. And now a little more than a minute and a half left on the clock, and just I don't know what you do now. If you're Suavemente.
Yeah, there's not a lot to do against this. It looks like they're going to stick with this McCree. That was kind of the change they tried to make to try and maybe keep some of that pressure of that Tracer off as well. All I can think
ball
of.
Coming in the back. Oh, finding no one off of that, though. The ball tried to going for a pick there. Academic almost getting caught out as well. Aaron is going to catch Delaney. That's a big pick. And he's going to catch 2, and then he's going to pay with his life. But it gets 2 absolutely massive picks as he's the only one to fall in this fight. But you might want to put a body or 2 on that payload. Yeah. You might want to get that thing moving. This is your season. This is this match on the line for you guys. A minute left. You've got to get this moving for what is potentially going to be this final fight in the series. They have to try to pull something out here, and they do have the Deadeye in the window online, and Aaron is going to be able to copy here soon as well. But Academy sitting so close on their own ultimate, looking for that Primal Rage, trying to find a pick in their summer. Delaney is going to get dropped in the process of the fight, though. The window is out. The Bob is getting absolutely deleted right there. They're having that advantage. Frostbite is going to get picked off in the process as well. Aaron almost immediately taken out of his own ultimate right there. They're pushing through. They're using a lot of ultimates, but they're definitely pushing through this fight right here. And it looks like, if Must 2 don't have an engagement, they are going to try to engage in the fight with Rally.
And they've got ults to invest here. This could be big. Look at the time.
This is big right now. It's big. This could be the final fight. But, yeah, but I think it's not going to be enough here. It's big right there. Oh my god, that is an absolute big play by the Rissa, finding these final blows, able to finish off this fight right here. And now with a minute and a half left on this clock, they're trying to get this done. They're building up this momentum. Rally and a whole hog ready to be online, but the tanks over on the side of Yessierskiii not even close to these ultimates right now. If this is the time to come back, it is right now. With 1 minute 20 seconds sitting on this clock, Mad Max invests kind of early on that whole hog, not able to really find too much fun after that AA run. Oh yeah, but Aaron jumping so early in that. Mad Max is getting caught out. Manages to get out with a little bit of heals.
Bob's gonna come in the back.
Yeah, Bob coming through in that back right there. And still trying to find a pick right now. Mad Max is gonna get dropped in kind of late in that fight. And right now, you need to reset here with what you have left, and you need to get ready for this final fight. You gotta get out of there. You have to have this full reset right now. As Jepster just got absolutely staggered into that. People getting killed kind of late. And once again, this is your final fight coming up here.
It absolutely is. You know, we talked about the not disengaging, and you got to wonder if it kind of bit them a little bit there, because they probably could have got 2 more team fights out of this. Now you are absolutely in 1 team fight. This is for it. This is everything. If you're Suavemente, you need a big pusher. You got to get maximum value out of these ultimates. You've got a Deadeye and an Amplification Matrix. On the side of Yessierskiii, you've got more ults coming in, and the Rally going to engage with the slam.
Big, yeah. Aaron managed to get some big shots there, but Frostbite manages to fight too. Make that 3 right there. That's 4 people down right now, and now Aaron's trying to make something happen here on the point, but he's trying to
5.
No one's there right now. No one's touching this point, and Yessierskiii is gonna be your tier 6 champions.
Oh, Frostbite big players step up in big moments, and Frostbit did just that at the end. Coming in clutch there, slamming down, getting the mines with the slam, engaging with it, finishing off all those kills, and that's going to be your play of the game. I almost guarantee you that.
It more than likely will be, and it is going to be as well. It was absolutely massive by Frost, but coming in with 4 gigantic pigs right there, coming in absolutely clutch into that fight and securing not only their win in this match, but in this series. This is a 4-0 in favor of Yessierskiii.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody saw that coming before this got started. You had the 2 best teams in PlayStation going at it, and I thought we were going to be in for a long one. I had settled in. I had grabbed an extra bottle of water just in case I needed it, and I was ready to go the distance, but Yessierskiii had different plans as they just come out and put on a show against Suavemente. So congratulations to Yessierskiii. They are your multi-tier tournament North America PlayStation Tier 6 champions.
They are indeed. But we can't say that Suavemente was completely out of this. They put a lot of fight into this. It wasn't like it was completely one-sided on a lot of these maps. You take away from Busan, you go into King's Row. They did so good on their first attack. Going into Rialto, they started picking up a lot of momentum. They were never, ever completely out of this. They put up a fight until the very end, and you have to at least give them that in this entire series.
Oh, yeah, there was no quit in that team. They definitely came out and gave it their all. A lot of teams get down when they get almost swept like that in that last game, and then you kind of maybe see some meme comps come out, or they just kind of basically give up. But that wasn't the case for Suave. They kept trying the whole way through to try and get that map win and try and win that momentum back. Unfortunately, they came up short. They ran into a buzzsaw that was Frostbit on that wrecking ball.
Yeah, exactly. Frostbite came out so big on this wrecking ball, rocking it almost the entire time outside of those double shield situations, and Frostbite was absolutely massive in every single fight they were involved in. If you saw the stat listed for that, they had 12 minefield kills throughout that entire map on Rialto, and that's absolutely huge.
Yeah, that was kind of par for the course for that along the whole way, and usually I have some kind of big lead up where I kind of tease the MVP, but I'm going to give it to Frostbit in this series, because what Frostbit does on that wrecking ball, it kind of just engages everything that Yessierskiii wants to do. When you have a wrecking ball player that knows how to get in, get those slams and engage, and then get back out and kind of create that havoc, that changes everything. That makes the dive a lot easier, because you're just going in on whatever he's diving, and he's actually the one creating that space and causing the havoc. So that was definitely the difference. If they didn't have that wrecking ball, this thing could have went a little differently, because we saw they struggled a little bit with that double shield at times. I'm not saying they wouldn't have won with the double shield. They did get the win on King's Row with the double shield, but this was their bread and butter and what they were more comfortable with. If you had to force them onto the double shield, it may have been a longer series.
I agree. I think Frostbite, like for me too, that would be my MVP. That came up absolutely massive. I do think if that ball wasn't in there, we'd still be casting the series right now. I think that might be the absolute truth. I'm not saying he's the carry of the team, but he was definitely the shining light for them tonight, and he came up absolutely massive.
Yeah, he was definitely the X factor. But that's going to wrap it up for the Tier 6 season. We're going to have games the rest of the week on this channel, CGO1. So if you guys do not already follow the channel, make sure you hit that follow button and get the notifications of when we go live, because we have more PlayStation 4 finals all week. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to try and get a game on CGL1 here across all the different tiers. We're not sure which games yet, because we're still getting some times figured out for those games to get scheduled, but I'm glad we were able to get this Tier 6 final in for you folks. And Hunter, thank you so much for stepping up and helping me cast this. I was all prepared to go solo if I had to, but thanks for stepping in and helping me out a little bit there.
No, it was great. It was an exciting match. I was happy to be here, and it was a very passionate match to cast for. It was a very fun match, and I was happy to be here for it.
All right. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And also, don't forget to follow the CGL YouTube page. That's where we post all the VODs for the matches and some various different content, including the breakdown. Don't forget to check that out, featuring yours truly. So for Huntertain, I am Skateaction, and for everybody else at CGL, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.